Ahoy folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So today we're taking a look at the Veteran, and it's going to be a slightly updated version of the Plasma Commander build. So I've been using this a lot for the last couple of days, and we've been making some tweaks. And if you want to see gameplay, go back and look at Tuesday the 16th of July, and that entire live stream, I'm using the Plasma gun, and you can see how it's used and how I'm tweaking it. But this is the just sort of a more in-depth guide to the build itself and a few other bits and pieces. So let's just jump in, shall we? So what I'm using at the moment is the Indignatus Mark III Shockmaul. Not because it's absolutely amazing, because it's not like OP or game breaking. I just like it. It's a nice melee weapon. It's got some nice wide sweeps on the light attacks and strike down heavy attacks. So you're just crucking skulls every time. For the perks, I've got Flak and Maniac as usual. Blessings wise, I've just gone with what was on it, to be honest. I had High Voltage, which is 20% damage versus Electrocuted. And basically, Electrocuted is anything you touch with a Shockmaul. The next hit does 20% more damage because everything gets the Electrocuted debuff. And Thrust is there for those heavy strike downs, just to make sure that whatever I'm hitting stays dead. But if you wanted to, you can also change over to basically whatever you want, really. I mean, you can use an Assault Chainsword with Shred and Devastating Strikes, or Shred and Rampage, or Savage Sweeps and Rampage. I mean, you know, you're quite open when it comes to melee weapons. Or you can use a Power Sword with Power Cycle and Slaughterer, or Power Cycle and Rampage. Whatever you fancy. It's just whatever works best for you. I mean, you can use combat blades as well. I just don't have any good ones on the Veteran. All my combat blades are on the Zealot. So, as for the plasma gun itself, this is almost a perfect roll. If I could get ammo down a little bit more and thermal resistance up, it would be a god roll, but it is what it is. Perk-wise, you either want Carapace and Flak, or Flak and Unyielding. I'm using Maniac at the moment because the AI creator seems to be just absolutely spawning Maniacs continuously on Damnation and Auric at the moment. It seems to be overly spawning, so I don't know what's going on. So I've changed it over to Maniac just to help out with that, but usually I run Flak or Carapace. As for Blessings, I'm using Gets Hot, up to 50% critical chance, scales with heat level. You're always going to be very, very overheated. And Glory Hunter, just for a bit of safety, but you can switch out Glory Hunter if you want to not Shattering Impact. That is actually massively broken at the moment, so you want to try and steer clear of it. Blaze Away, I think, yeah. So Gets Hot and Blaze Away are generally quite good paired up. You've got a nice high crit chance and increased power on all your shots. I mean, this is quite a good one. I might switch out to using this, but it all depends, really. I've got ones that are very close together in power, so I just kind of jump between them. I am going to switch out Shattering Impact, though, because it's just broken as hell. But as you can see on this one, it looks like a perfect roll. But you want the stopping power. You actually want that up quite high. You want a down ammo for stopping power. So it goes damage, charge rate, stopping power, thermal resistance, ammo. But it will all change when the crafting system comes out, so don't worry about it too much. And just as a side note, this build works excessively well with the Lucius Mark III Hellbore Lasgun, as if you can play with the plasma gun, you can use the Hellbore. They're basically the same weapon with slightly increased charge rates. So as you can see, if you do decide to go for the lasgun, the Hellbore lasgun, weight of fire and surgical, generally what you want. But weirdly, they work almost exactly the same, just without heat on the Hellbore. And as for the curios, sorry, I keep yawning. As for the curios, I'm using 1 toughness, 2 toughness, 1 health. So 2 toughness, 1 health with toughness, damage resistant sniper, damage resistant gunner, damage resistant gunner, with some health, toughness, regeneration, more toughness regeneration. I might switch some of these around to have more gunner resist on and drop out some of the toughness regeneration speed because we are using the shout all the time. So possibly dump the regeneration speed for damage resistant or a little bit of health. I kind of play fast and loose with these. I'm changing them all the time just to sort of keep up with the meta and generally how they decide to break the game this week, which seems to be a weekly occurrence these days. So as for the talents, we're going to start off with... Oh, geez, sorry, I can't. It's been a very long day. We're going to start off with long shot to help us deal with gunners at long range. Drag gunners seem to be tougher than scab gunners just because of how their armor works, so this is going to help us get those breakpoints to deal with them. And then we're going to go close order drill, charismatic aura, confirmed kill, down into crack grenade, covering fire, fire team, grenade tinkerer. You can actually drop grenade tinkerer if you want to. Mostly our grenades are going to be for breaking bulwarks and unyielding, so if you know, the plasma gun does that as well, so you can move this around and say put it into competitive urge, which actually is a very underrated talent. It procs a lot more than you think it does, but it's up to you. So that point is free floating, so do as you like with it. And then down into demolition stockpile, voice of command. Oh god, voice of yawn more like. Duty and honor, suppression boost, precision strikes for weak spot damage. This really helps with just killing everything. Fully loaded for more ammo. Superiority complex for base damage against elites. If you are taking the Hellbore, drop out grenade tinkerer for shock trooper, and that's all you need to do to change the build around. For the Emperor, tactical awareness, iron will, into rending strikes, bring it down, and the entire shebang when it comes to focus targets, as you basically want to be focusing every single goddamn target you can and keep this running, like, if you can, 100% time of the match. I know it's not possible, but that's what you're aiming for. This should always be running. If you really, really, really want to, you can take off the toughness one, but I don't think you should. But you can if you want to. This is the only one of the three that I would say drop if you want to put it somewhere else. So I usually do this, get rid of Grenade Tinkerer and put it into competitive urge at the moment. It just seems to be this is proccing a lot of the time, and we're not having too much trouble killing monstrosities, so it's not really needed. I mean, if you don't want to go with competitive urge, you can always put it in field improvisation to help the team, or you can be selfish like me and just go with competitive urge. So there's one other thing I wanted to show in this build, and that is the animation cancel for the plasma gun, as the reload on this thing is one of the most annoying things, and if you can get round it, then it's basically a really good weapon. So let's just expend some ammo. So before I show you the animation cancel, the only way the weapon blows up is if you are overcharging it with the right mouse button, or whatever your control equivalent is. It cannot explode on single shots. So this is just me single shotting. You just take a bit of tick damage for overusing it. If you overcharge and go over 100, you will die. Okay, so the animation cancel. So watch carefully. This is how we do it. Right, so you reload, wait for one twist, swap to melee, wait for one twist, swap to melee, wait for one twist, done. You can do it even faster than this, the more you get used to it. This is basically the first time using the animation cancel, which is how I was taught by our illustrious member Chief. So we'll do it again. One twist. One twist. One twist. Done. I would say just sit up in the Psychic area and practice it a couple of times, and once you got it down, it just becomes second nature. You can quite happily fill this out in game. I mean, if you get really good at it, you can probably do it even faster than that. I'm quite conservative when it comes to it, just to make sure I've actually done it and not get myself into a cock-up cascade where it's just stuck in the reload animation. But there you go. And that is the plasma gun. It's a fun little weapon. Really good at just basically killing everything. And it really does shine once you start realizing that the animation cancel is not some big secret thing that only a few people know. It's actually super easy to do. It just takes a little bit of practice. And don't forget, tag everything, use your grenades. You regenerate them every 60 seconds. Don't be stingy with them. So yeah. And also, don't forget to use your shout. You are there to heal toughness damage. Whenever you see the entire team starting chipping down, use it. We aren't running the on your feet talent, so we can't res people, but also we don't lose radius and increase the cooldown. So just make sure you are using duty and honor effectively. I mean, don't use it to just use it. When people are losing toughness, obviously it's your job to, you know, sing out and get that toughness back up. And you will find your team appreciates you. Well, they probably won't, but you'll feel appreciated nonetheless. Anyway, that is the Plasma Commander. I hope you enjoy the build, and I hope you enjoy the little animation cancel. If you do, please like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And I shall catch you all for the next one. So until then, take it easy, and see you later.